It's Beth Cooper from Bluebird Studios, and we're in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I have on the other end of this Zoom call Nancy Tankersley, and she's coming to us from Maryland. Where is it? Easton?
Easton, yeah.
Maryland, yeah.
Maryland, yeah.
And so we're really excited to have Nancy coming here in May. And let me just give the dates really quick. It is the workshop goes May 13th through May 16th. That's 9 to 4. And then on the evening of the 12th, we have an optional, but it's fun, an optional little icebreaker. So everybody can get to the studio, find us, meet Nancy, and we all kind of know each other the next day. So it's good. It's good. So, Nancy, welcome to Bluebird. So I bought your video on Streamline. Is it PaintTube?
Yeah, PaintTube now. Yes.
So it was so good. I mean,
Thank you.
It was so good. The lady you had with the purse and how you had her perfect stance, and then the three children. That was amazing to watch.
Thank you.
I'm just really excited to watch your process.
The thing that started me with the figures I've been dabbling into figures. I started out, like you said, as portrait. And then I got into a gallery, my very first gallery with still life, because I had started doing still life to teach myself color, because I didn't feel like I really understood color. So I got into that gallery, and the gallery owner one day said to me, he showed me a painting of little girls on the beach. He says, "Why don't you do some things like this?" So I thought, well, okay, I'll give it a try. So at the beginning of my painting career, if you can paint a convincing apple, you can paint a portrait. And that is so true. You just have to learn to see in a way that is not filled with all these preconceived ideas of what something looks like. You have to learn to see naturally and honestly.
Well, one of the questions was, how you teach how to paint the figure, and you did start with, kind of some measurement.
Absolutely.
And so, did you teach yourself that method? I mean, how did you know?
I did. Well,
the head, the shoulders, the angle of the shoulders, all that. I mean, in that one video is what I'm specifically referencing.
Right. I did teach myself that through trial and error. Of course, when digital photography, became so popular, and we could easily print out an image on our computers, on our printers that we could work from, then I developed the way of how do you use that image to make sure your measurements are correct. And you find, more accomplished you are at drawing, the fewer you need to rely on those instructional or those measuring devices. So measuring is a real important tool, I think, for any representational artist.
So in the class, tell us how is that how you start everybody? Will you want to have a live model at all? I mean, because
it's not necessary, although you had mentioned maybe your husband would pose for us and we could go out and take photos of your husband standing next to a horse or on a horse or things like that. And we can use those photos. If people come to class with a photo they really want to try to work from, say with their grandchildren or their husband fishing or something, those are common things. We can work with that too. But the way I would like to divide it out is really spend 2 days getting the figure right, working with simple figures through mechanical means, in other words, through photographs. And then this last 2 days, learning how to incorporate those figures into a background so that they feel like they were meant to be there. So yeah, spend a lot of time getting some really good figures going, and then the last 2 days spending more time with how do you merge the figures into the landscape. We don't take an image and graph it and, with the background and work square by square. That is absolutely not what this class is about. Every time there, I have a video presentation that I did a few years ago on how photography has been used over the years, ever since it was first introduced. And there's evidence now that, Anders Zorn was a great user of photography, and even they think Sargent, although it's harder to find evidence of that. I prefer to draw with a brush. It fits me better, and it's more fluid, where if I have to make corrections, it's easier to wipe out, establish that shape again than it is with charcoal. I think charcoal, you get a terrible mess.
So you won't be doing any, like
Pardon?
you won't be doing any like sketching, or do you do value studies or look
That'll all be part of it. Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
you do thumbnail. I think I do remember that.
Yeah. Values are very, very important. I consider drawing and design probably the most important in representational art, and values goes along with drawing and design.
Mhm.
And then color and edges become much more personal, and I don't want to change anybody's natural aesthetic.
I was reading this article that you did, I think Inside Art. And
Yeah.
one thing that kind of jumped out at me is it said, I paint very realistically during a certain time. And when I have brought the painting to the place that it could almost be called complete, I start to break down the edges to create movement and intangibles such as emotion and mystery. So,
Yes.
so can you explain that a little bit? So you do paint a painting, like you say the apple, it looks like a real apple. And then
That I've been doing that kind of construction, deconstruction. I can get to it faster, just through experience, but
taking the students kind of through that of what would we call it? Deconstructing.
deconstruction, yeah, it's really a process of choosing what is really needed to tell your story. And I understand there'll be different levels in the class, and people that really need a lot of work on drawing their figures accurately, we'll spend the time with that individually. People that need more work on edges and how to deconstruct, I'll spend more time on that. But it'll all be addressed, in my demos. I'm not the type of instructor that likes to stand in front of you and do a complete finished demo.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask about that.
I like to get started and take it to a certain stage, and then let the students work as far as I worked. And then my next demo will probably be, taking that same demo further.
I think
I
that's
feel like
I think that's a good way to teach.
I think it's more instructional.
Yeah, I do too.
If you forget,
Thinking about that, I guess. And then inside this article too, you said intent is so important in a painting. And I had a teacher one time, and she always said you need to have your why. I guess that's the same thing,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. What is it that has driven you to want to paint this particular scene? Because you don't know the answer.
Zoom glitch, but we're back. So we were talking about the why of a painting. I mean, I have one instructor, her name's Peggy Emmel. She lives in Taos, and she has everybody write a little haiku.
Hmm.
You know, now you can always refer, but why did I pick this spot again? What reaches out to me. So, like if you have a child on the beach or something, like that lady in that, I keep going back to the video because I'm sure a lot of
Uh,
people have seen that. So, what was your why for like the lady with the purse?
I felt her gesture was just, to me, it was like she's waiting for somebody, she's on the phone, a little bit of impatience, and I just, it was just, felt very contemporary. Um,
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of the things that as an artist in this day and age, is I love representational art, but I want to be honest about it. I'd rather paint a scene that, speaks of our time and place than invent something.
Yeah. And those are such fleeting moments. You probably saw that lady and you were just like, something just spoke to you.
I just kind of randomly take pictures. I try not to invade people's privacy. And often the beauty of digital photography is you can just take a picture of a crowd and then you can zoom in on your computer and
Yeah.
find that perfect little spot, little vignette of something. And of course, when you're doing that, then you have to learn how do you use this little slice of life and put it on a two-dimensional surface and make it look like you're there, or you feel, you have some connection to what's going on.
And one evening, to tell everybody, we go out, we start 30 minutes early at 8:30, probably the third day, and
Uh-huh.
we break 30 minutes early. This is the culture day, and everybody always has a good time. So we will get everybody out the door, driving out, carpooling probably, and we'll go down and we'll tour some galleries on Canyon Road, or probably not the first day.
Right.
Um, and then we go out, and then so we just do it for an hour, but some gallery hopping.
Uh-huh.
Then we go out for a group dinner at a local restaurant.
Okay, that sounds great.
Also, we serve a complimentary continental breakfast every morning from 8 to 10, and it's a full breakfast with eggs, yogurt, granola, bagels, cream cheese, fruit, pastries. I mean, it's the whole deal. And then I cater lunches into the studio every day, because you're welcome to bring your own lunch, because I have a full kitchen. But yeah, so I do, and it's $20 for those lunches, and I go to local restaurants, salads and sandwiches and stuff. So
That's really wonderful that the students can just not have to worry about going out and feeding themselves. The first 2 days are really focused on drawing and how you can make sure your drawing is correct,
okay.
and design, how you'll place those figures into a an overall design and value. And it doesn't mean we won't get to color. Some people will be ready to move on, and others will be still working on their drawing, and that's okay. My demos will address different principles as I demo, but the class won't be working in lockstep. My supply list is not very specific because I feel like I don't think there's a magic brush or magic color to make you a better painter. I think it's learning how to use your own brushes, your own colors is key. So I'm a great believer in a limited palette, and so my list of paints will not be very extensive. And I'm a great believer in painting with a brush larger than you think you need. So just people bringing large enough brushes is really important.
Okay. And I have Gamsol for people flying in, and I sell jars of it for like $5.
Okay.
So that's available. And this is open too to pastel artists, I assume.
It is because the principles all apply,
Yeah.
the same.
I think the thing that interests me the most is that very first, and when in that one video you measured, but it wasn't like over measuring. You know what I mean? You didn't
Yeah,
get into like, yeah, it's a more relaxed approach to measuring, but that's so important.
it really is. You can't get measuring for gesture and i.e. using plumb lines and diagonals and things like that is really key in putting figures, believable figures into your work. It's oh so important.
That integration of background and figure, that's part of your teaching workshop that week.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
a big part of it.
Okay. And we will be kind of, I mean, everybody's welcome to bring obviously their own photos and everything, but we do have, horses. Not that this isn't an animal painting class, but Nancy has a lot of, her paintings are of rodeos and cowboys. And you come to Santa Fe, you can't get any more, yeehaw than that, right? So we have three horses. Well, one of our horses died, but so we have three horses, and my husband he's a retired lawyer, but he's a cowboy now. So he rides every day. So you'll see Billy out there working the horses and riding, and we can,
That's wonderful, really. That's a real bonus.
yeah.
And
So we can get some cowboy, and I even have a really, really good Native American model if we want to bring him in. His name's Raven, even just for a photo shoot.
yeah, yeah, we could do something like that.
Have him come in one morning for like 2 hours. So that would be really fun.
Sounds wonderful. So
Okay.
everybody should bring their hiking
Oh,
boots, right?
yeah, yeah. You're coming to a ranch, a little ranch, but it's still a ranch. We don't have rattlesnakes here that we've ever seen, but we do have critters. People are even welcome to ride if they want to. When I say that, Billy will put you on a horse and let people go around the corral and lots of my students have really enjoyed that. And it's
That sounds like a real bonus.
we do that at lunch, he'll just take people
Yeah,
out and with the kind of doing the Western theme. And
yeah,
so if
yeah.
you got a
Oh,
cowboy
great.
hat, bring it, bring water, bring a hat, bring sunglasses. We have intense sun here. We're at 7,200 feet. Don't forget the elevation. And I will be reminding people to drink lots of water, more water. People come to Bluebird, they're coming to our home. And
Yeah,
so it's not just going to a workshop. You are coming to our home and we do things together. We eat lunches together, breakfast together, and we really do have a good time.
great.
I'm not bragging, but it's
Well,
true.
I'm very excited to come to Santa Fe again, and it sounds like a wonderful place for a workshop.
Yeah, it's fun. So, okay, Nancy. Well, I'm excited, and thanks everybody, and I hope you look at Nancy's workshop and sign up. Thanks, Nancy. I will see you in May, and we'll be in touch. And everybody, sign up for this workshop, figure drawing with Nancy Tankersley, not to be missed. Thanks.